Welcome to the gun show.
Jealous? I'm the #1 American pickleball champ, so
All right. You ever hear of Duran?
I have.
Did you know that they re-released the first 5 records?
You told me that actually.
Uh-huh.
And you want to know something? I have one of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't tell them which one yet.
Okay.
Keep them in suspense.
I got one for me. You got all of them. I got myself one.
It's nice.
I got my favorite one to be determined later.
Right. You're not allowed to tell anyone.
I'll tell them when it happens. Can I do that?
No.
No?
So
Okay.
what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single Duran record, all the way up to Dance Macabre.
My favorite. That's not my favorite.
Then we will discuss which is the best album.
Oh. I could do that right now.
Yeah, that's the game. And the not so best album.
Okay. I already think I have an idea based on, because you know everything about Duran. I know
I don't really.
like a third of what you know.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Well, you know all the albums and all the songs. I know like more mainstreamy stuff.
I used to. But there are some that I couldn't. I'm not even sure if I could get. There's one record I'm thinking of. I don't even know if I could guess one title on it.
Okay, that's interesting.
Only listened to it a couple times.
Well, I gotta be honest. This album right here that we're talking about today, the first one, I knew maybe 3 songs.
Right.
And there are a lot. We're listening to the premium version, correct? You said there was some fancy version.
So how it's going to work is I know that this is just the stock reissue album, no bonus tracks or anything else. But what I did was I thought you should hear all the B-sides and songs that were recorded around this era. Because that's really the flavor. When they make songs, there's sort of a writing session, and then stuff is decided on, other things aren't finished. And this is the era of the first record, and it's not just the songs on this record, unless you have the deluxe. There was a 2010 deluxe edition that had night visions and night visions.
Oh, excuse me.
I wish there were visions.
I hate night versions.
I know, but this is really not what this is about, these album reviews, but if the night version is far superior to the original song on the album, yeah, got to mention that. So how can people play along?
So in the description of this, I mean, right now it's live, but once this is like put out there and you can save it and watch it later, it should be in the description. I have a YouTube music link. This is how we listen to the songs. I have all the ones we're going to discuss in the order we listen to them, which it should coincide with the album. Right. I got rid of kind of the fluff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, any demos or unfinished tracks or like the Planet Earth night version, there's nothing really extra special.
There's only one night version we listened to, and it was Girls on Film.
Right, because in my opinion, I think it's far superior to the album cut.
But it's called Duran 1, and you can listen along too.
That's the name of our video, but it's Duran. The first album, most of us call it the White Album.
Most of us.
And this is not to be confused with and I hear this all the time from people who are so-called Duran experts. There is a reissue of this album a couple years later that had new artwork and a hit single. This is not the reworked reissue. This song was written after Rio.
Whoa.
But they took this album, took a song off, put this on it, put a new cover, and got you to buy it again.
Yep.
That's not this.
Okay.
So, anybody wants to play along, you click on the YouTube music link.
If you have YouTube music.
I think you can click the link even if you don't, right?
You can?
You just have to listen to commercials or something?
Oh, it might be commercials. You know what? You might be onto something.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I pay for premium, so I'm a big fan of YouTube.
Me too. So you can listen to this, or you can go listen to the songs. You'll have homework, because after this video and this live stream,
Mhm.
we're going to create the Rio playlist, and it will go along the same sort of path.
Mhm.
And it will go all the way through. It'll start with My Own Way, because again, that was a one-off single before Rio.
I like that song.
Then they reworked it and put it on the album, the Rio album.
I like it.
So technically that's a floater, just like Is There Something I Should Know? But
Mhm.
they put it on Rio, where that single is only on the reissue.
Mhm.
And then it's on the bonus of, for some reason, so they clump them in eras.
Mhm.
So you'll get all the way. The last song, I think, there was a special remix album called Night Romantics, and it had long versions of Planet Earth and Girls on Film,
Mhm.
but it also had some strange B-sides, Canada, uh, Fame cover, which is
Okay.
really good.
I don't know most of the words you're saying.
Right. Well, the song title is Canada. That's how I pronounce it. It looks like Canada, only that it's with a K instead of a C. But anyway, so Rio would be My Own Way all the way through whatever B-sides there are. Like an Angel is one B-side that jumps out to my mind.
Never heard of it.
It's a good tune. You will, because there's going to be a playlist.
Oh, I'm gonna be listening
Exciting.
to it.
And then the next era would start with Is There Something I Should Know single. I
And-
might even show you that reissued album real quickly. But we're not going to rediscuss all those songs.
No.
And we're not going to discuss Is There Something I Should Know, because it's their first number one in the UK. It came out, and that week it was number one.
That's
so
my favorite.
everybody knows that one. That's a biggie.
Mhm.
So that will be Is There Something I Should Know? And that will go all the way through Seven and the Ragged Tiger. But it will also include Wild Boys
Yeah.
and A View to a Kill, because there was no album for those. Those were loose singles as well.
Mhm.
There was an album called Arena that Wild Boys came off of, but it was a live album. There's no need to really discuss that.
Mhm.
I don't know if it counts, but Wild Boys was on there. But we're going to discuss it all as if it's one big bulldog ball,
Okay.
because that's sort of how they lump it in when they do the big reissues.
Okay.
And then you get to the era after the Live Aid concert, which would be band breaks up or a chunk of them disappear, and you go on to Notorious and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So tell me, Girls on Film.
So, are you gonna tell them how we're gonna, like?
Oh, right. So we're gonna briefly
Yeah.
discuss each song. Then I'm gonna tell you which one I think is the best song on the album.
And we're doing it at the end. We're gonna give
Yeah.
our takes. Okay.
Then I'm gonna say what is
that.
my. I'm not gonna say bad song. I'm just gonna say least favorite.
Well, yeah.
And then I'm going to talk about one that maybe you don't listen to, that maybe you should. It needs a little honorable mention.
Yep. And we should go about saying that right away. I mean, sometimes I listen to an album and I love all the songs, but there's one that I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still gonna listen to it because it's great.
Your
but-
honorable mention shouldn't be Girls on Film.
Well,
Everybody
yeah,
knows that.
That's the mainstream one.
I'm thinking more B-sides or tighter album cuts.
Oh, I already know which ones I'm picking. I got my 3 categories ready to go.
Okay, well, so they're going to have to stay tuned
Well,
if they
hold
want
on
to know.
to it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about Girls on Film.
Girls on Film, briefly. Everybody knows it.
That's a great song.
Yep.
Well, you want to know something?
Yes.
It recently hit the younger kids.
Oh, is that right?
You ever heard of TikTok?
No.
Well, on TikTok there was a trend using Girls on Film.
Is that right?
So I bet a lot of people who had never heard of Duran started listening to that song. That's how it happens with me. Like with older songs, I'll hear something and I'm like, oh, that's good. And then I find out it was like a big thing years ago. And I'm
It
like,
was a
oh.
big thing.
Yeah.
Girls on Film was a big thing.
So that's not where I heard it from. I've known it all my life. Girls on Film. I remember it when we were in the car when I was like 6 or something.
Very lucky girl.
Exactly. So that's
So,
Whoop.
not much to say about Girls on Film.
Yeah.
Planet Earth.
Great song.
Another great song, another biggie.
That's a biggie.
You always know if it's a biggie because they're still touring and playing those songs.
Still playing the songs.
So that would tell you,
So those are the ones that it's like.
because I think they're up to 15,
redos.
15 or 16 records. So I think each one has got a minimum of 10 songs, and then all the B-sides. You can't
Mhm.
play all the songs at a concert, but you will always hear Girls on Film,
Yep.
and you will always hear Planet Earth.
Planet Earth's a great one because it's about where we is.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
It is.
And
It's
a lot of
amazing.
people cover that.
Well, I feel like that's a great Earth Day song. There's not a lot of Earth Day songs, you know?
It is a good Earth Day song.
Yeah.
Good environmental song, too.
There you go.
But people cover that version. I'm looking up on the wall. None of you can see it, but there's a William Shatner 45 up there of Planet Earth.
That's not Planet Earth.
It's not? What is it?
That's Rocket Man.
Well, I can't see it this far away. I thought it was Planet Earth.
I've got you that. You don't remember?
Meanwhile, he does do a version of Planet Earth. That's what
Does
I
he
thought it
really?
was. Yes.
Ooh, I want to listen to that.
He did it with Ben Folds.
I think that's the one where it was kind of goofy.
He always, well, no, because he talks through most of them. So
Yeah, he talks through Rocket Man, and that's the one I got you. I just thought...
He doesn't do any weird screaming, but it's...
Well, I thought it was cool cover art, along with the fact that it was...
It is very good. And it's so far up there on that ceiling, it's about 15 feet in the air. There's no way I can pull that down for you. Sorry,
he's like
folks.
holding space. Or Earth.
He's in a little astronaut outfit.
He's in an astronaut outfit, and he's holding Earth, and it's Rocket Man, which is cool.
So you can see why I thought it was Planet Earth, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So Planet Earth, I mean, what do you need to know? Classic all time. Anyone out there?
I really like this song.
Yep.
That's one of the ones that after we listened to it, I was singing it. It was a earworm.
Yes.
That's it. That one just kept assaulting me, but in a good way.
Yeah, it's a good one, and a lot of people who are a fan of this album, everyone knows that one.
Yeah. Oh, so that's like a mainstream one?
It wasn't a single.
Okay.
But when they were going out and doing live shows to get promotions and stuff, that one was always played, and people loved it.
Okay.
So this is their first record, so they played all the songs.
Yeah, well, because that's what you got.
But anyone out there, I've yet to meet a Duran Duran fan who doesn't like that tune.
Okay.
Passive fans maybe not know it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're the next sort of level check mark.
Yeah.
Not the top, but even the next level, you would know that one.
Okay.
Another good one. To the Shore.
Forgettable.
Yeah. To the Shore.
I was like.
Yeah, that one to me sounds more like a poem put to music.
I mean, it's nice, but there's nothing that stands out about it.
It doesn't stick in your ear, no.
Yeah.
Other than To the Shore.
I don't know about that one.
That might be the only word I know from that one.
To the Shore.
That's the only part.
That's the name of the song.
What is important about To the Shore?
What is important about To the Shore?
This is the song that was removed off this record to make way for Is There Something I Should Know?
That's why it was forgettable.
So if you're someone like me who didn't know anything about Duran Duran, that's sort of where I heard the Is There Something I Should Know
version of this album.
I actually came home from school. I was at a friend's house. He had cable TV. Mm-hmm. There was a show called MV3.
Okay.
That might have been on regular TV. I can't remember. With Richard Blade, that name comes up a lot again. We mentioned it last time. Mm-hmm. And they played that video, and my brain melted. And I said, "Who is that?"
So that was your first experience.
Right. I may have heard a Duran Duran song, like "Hungry Like the Wolf" or something like that, but it didn't penetrate my brain
until you heard that.
Until I saw that video, and my brain melted. And then I had to go get the record, and the record that was out was the reissue with the different artwork, and
did not have To the Shore.
Had no idea what To the Shore was until much later.
When they started. Why.
A couple of years later, CDs came out, and then the CD is based on this, not the reissue. So that's how you would get To the Shore.
Okay. Cool.
Careless Memories.
I would rank it above To the Shore.
Yeah.
But it's not better than Anyone Out There, Planet. You know, maybe we should have done a tier list. You ever heard of those?
No, it's a casual thing.
Big trend. We could have been on top of the trends.
Very cash.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd put it above To the Shore, not as good as the other ones. So far.
So I will tell you, Careless Memories was also a single.
Okay.
I think that was a UK only single, because I remember I used to have the 12-inch of it.
Okay.
Complemented this album cover very well. Sort of the same
vibe.
Yeah, they all had the same kind of vibe with this sort of, because of that metallic lines and stuff like that. I was just listening to the guy who designed this album cover, and when he heard the music, he looked at it and said, "Oh, there's sort of a futuristic," and he wanted to make it sort of look like an airline.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the stripe, and he said the lettering was sort of like you'd see on the side of an airplane.
Yeah, I can see that, honestly.
That's what he was thinking.
You could plaster that on the side of a plane. That might be fun.
I think so. It's
Yeah.
nice minimalist. But Careless Memories, once you get past the first layer of Duran Duran, most people you'd say Duran Duran, almost every single time out of their mouth is going to be Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah. Back in gym class, they play music while we were in, and in the other room, I heard them playing Hungry Like the Wolf, and I said, "Can we listen to Duran Duran?" And they're like, "What? Who are you?" And
Well, you're talking about little kids, but
no, I was talking to the adult in the room.
oh, and they knew it.
They did not know what I was talking about.
Had no idea Hungry Like the Wolf was Duran Duran.
Yeah, they just had it on some playlist, and they
Uh-huh.
didn't even know. I said, "Oh, can we listen to that song?" And they're like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Okay, well,
I'm just like,
they're probably not worth your time.
"Cool." They weren't.
So that's side one, Careless Memories. They played that live for years, took a break, and then sometimes it comes back. But it's the more guitar heavy song. It's a fun song. Nice lyric. Again,
I like a
with
little
all
guitar.
of these, really, the lyrics are top notch.
Mm-hmm.
So Careless Memories has layers.
When I can understand what they're saying, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a video too somewhere. It's actually a video because it was a single.
Wow, how do you like that?
You like sashes?
No,
Mm.
I wear them.
Simon's got a big sash on with leather
Ooh.
pants. And a big
I like
red
leather
sash.
pants. I'll tell you that.
Let's go to side two.
Okay,
The Night Boat.
that's a pretty
Or
good.
Night Boat.
That's a pretty good song. I like that song. I think it's of the ones that are not as popular, like the mainstream ones. I think that one's pretty top notch.
Right. If I asked a normal person on the street and they had any idea who Duran Duran was, they could probably squeeze out Girls on Film, Planet Earth, or, oh yeah, I remember that. The rest of these, no way.
Yeah,
No way. They would get one of these after that.
yeah.
But Night Boat, one that keeps coming back. It was in their latest album that was sort of
I remember that.
remakes and new ones.
I remember that.
Still doing this on stage. Usually their opening song, so Night Boat. And there was a video for this.
It's a good opener. I'll give them that.
At some point they went back and made a video for this.
Was there a boat in it?
There was. It was a lot of... It's
Yeah.
funny. The video is almost like a little... They tried to do like a little film.
Uh-huh.
So they're all kind of chatting each other up before the music sort of starts.
It's
It's pretty wild.
I gotta be honest, I can vaguely remember that. I think
Yeah.
we watched it on the big screen at some point.
And I remember... I think it might have been that same MV3 or something, but that was part of the opening of the show, because each one of them would sort of go like this. And they all did it, and that was part of the show, the opening of that show. I remember that vividly. But so what they did is they had a bunch of songs that were getting super popular, so what the record company says, make a bunch of videos. We'll loosely stitch them all together with little interludes, and we'll sell you a video cassette, and that video cassette sold a bunch.
Cool.
Let's go on to Sound of Thunder.
I gotta be entirely honest, I don't remember it.
Waiting for the sound of thunder.
Oh, that one.
It's a nice, pleasant song.
I liked it. You're right. Once again, if you said the name, I couldn't really think of it. But once I'm hearing it, I'm like, you know what? That is a good time. You know, I listen to it, I'd enjoy it, and I move on with my life. What do you think about that?
I'm always happy to hear it.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
And I don't have really much more to say about that. Lyrics are top notch. Sound of Thunder.
You said that about everything.
I know. I like them all. Really,
Yeah.
that's the problem.
They're all my favorite.
Yeah, they're all beautiful.
I got you.
Friends of Mine.
Give me a little doodle.
Friends of Mine.
Okay.
I said they were friends of mine.
I remember I didn't like that one.
Wow.
Because they kept repeating the title, which, I mean, it was common in a lot of them, but it doesn't stick with you. It's long and they keep saying it.
Well,
over
because
and
that
over
song
again.
has a lot of lyrics.
Really?
Yes, a ton of
Really?
lyrics.
I didn't understand a word of it.
Yep.
I gotta be honest.
It'll take a
with
few
you.
more listens, but it will grow on you. And sometimes they
It's
still
not
play
really
that
right
one
now.
live.
I wouldn't say it's my least favorite, but it's definitely not one of my favorites.
Well, it's up there.
Plus, if you look at the length of all these songs so far, that one's pretty long.
Well, there's so many words.
I don't like long songs as much.
Mhm.
I like it like
Well, that's your generation, right?
fun and jazzy, and
You guys are like a ferret with a double espresso.
I'm fine with a lot of these. Most of them are around the same time. I like Night Boat. That's roughly the same time.
Coming out of this era, so this is 1981 when this was released.
Mm-hmm.
So you're pretty close to the 70s. 70s jam bands love to have 10, 15-minute version songs. So that's sort of when you're in this transition, this is probably where you get how long that is.
Very rarely a song can hold my attention for that long. Especially when it's the same thing over and over again. It's like when you start up a show that I think should have ended, you know?
Hmm.
We were just talking about that.
Well, Tel Aviv, what do you think about that?
Good.
Well, how do you feel about an instrumental being on a record?
I'm not a big fan of songs that don't have lyrics, but it was good. It was better than my least favorite.
Right.
So I mean that says something. There are a few albums I can think of that have instrumentals on them, and they're my least favorite part of the album. This actually isn't my least favorite part of the album, so that should say something, considering I'm not a big fan.
I think Nick is chiefly in charge of the instrumentals. He's sort of the driving force, and a very good job right out of the gate with his instrumental here. I mean, everybody contributes, but this song, if you have the deluxe version, there's actually a version with a bunch of words that doesn't sound anything like this, and I can see why they reworked it and changed it.
Can I harp on something new for a second, because I want clarification? Before that newest one, what was that album called again?
Are you talking about Future Past?
Future Past. On Future Past, there was an instrumental in that one,
Yeah.
and I love that instrumental.
Yeah.
I can say that confidently. That was pretty good.
Are you talking about the one where it's sort of instrumental and then he starts singing a little bit at the end?
Only for you.
Oh no, you're talking about Velvet Newton.
That was mainly an instrumental, and then there was some garbled stuff, and it was short. And
I think those are non-finished songs.
Yeah,
because that other one, that other instrumental that's so good, he starts singing at the end. I think that was a song that wasn't finished. It's too bad. I wish they'd finish that one.
Dang, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go skip ahead. It's just I thought of it.
A little spice for the end.
I thought of it.
Very nice work with Tel Aviv.
You didn't lower it.
So, well, I didn't. So now we go on to sort of the B-sides, ancillary songs from this era. Canada. Isn't that how you would say that?
You skipped Late Bar.
Late Bar. Oh, yeah, Canada. It's lit up, so I said Canada.
I like Late Bar a lot, so that's why I didn't want you to skip it.
Right.
Is that the one where he says the numbers?
117609.
I really like that
la,
one.
La la Late Bar.
That's one that earwormed me. That earwormed me.
That is an earworm.
That is an earworm because
Absolutely.
After we listened to it, it was rattling around in my head for a little while. Those are good songs when they rattle around.
Well, not to mention, who doesn't like a song where there's an all-night party?
I love when they include numbers in a song. That's my favorite.
So you're a big fan of
8675309.
That's it.
Yeah, I am a big fan, actually.
So, Late Bar, absolutely.
Remind me about Canada.
That was the one that goes, didn't no one tell you money is the game?
That one's okay.
Yeah, listen.
I didn't remember it.
That was on the Night Romantics record, and when we heard that, we're like, hey, it's a fresh new song.
Wow.
Because it was buried on there.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, maybe not your cup of tea. It's fun. That one grew on me. I still like it. But let's talk about Fame, which is a David Bowie song.
Ooh, okay.
And they redid that. What do you think of that version?
I always like their covers, I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever met a Duran cover I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be interesting as we get deeper.
Well, we're probably going to get to stuff I don't know. The stuff I know right now, all the covers they do, I enjoy.
When we get to the Thank You album, they're all covers.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before in my life.
I think you'll be I bet you'll find one or two is not your favorite.
Okay, well, sorry.
In fact, I will give a
guarantee.
Not a guarantee, but I will tell you a little secret. For years, when you meet another person who's into rendering, there's always discussions about the best album and the worst album. And for years, my answer would be the Thank You album is the worst album.
Wow.
And it was chiefly because they didn't write the songs. I'm more interested when they write the songs.
Okay.
But that changed.
Mhm.
And it's no longer. I like the Thank You album. It was
Mhm.
just always last on my list. We will get to an album that I don't like at all.
Okay.
And I would normally tell you any Duran Duran, there's something worthy. But
Mhm.
we will get to one that I would put in a shredder.
Ooh.
I mean,
That's
it's a
harsh.
misfire on every level for me.
That's harsh, man.
But we'll get there.
That you're serving up some harsh browns.
Well, you may have a different opinion when you listen to the playlist.
Okay.
Just like these fine people will get to listen to this playlist and the Rio playlist
Mhm.
and play along.
Okay.
But so that's Fame. Pretty good,
Could
I have to
you
tell you.
could you remind me Faster Than Light? That's another one of those ones that didn't
Faster
really fit.
than light, faster than
Oh,
light,
that's one of that's one of the ones where I wasn't a fan of the repeating.
white light moving in. Well, that is the very first song they ever wrote together.
Really?
What do you think about that?
Um, I didn't like the repeating on that one.
Well, it's the first song. Give them a break.
Yeah. Well, it's the last one I heard. I remember I was kind of zoned out near this point.
Mm-hmm. So the Girls on Film, there were, if you didn't know this, Simon was not always the lead singer. They had two others before he got there.
Huh.
Girls on Film, another guy was working on, and they sort of worked on it, and they had like bones of it.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until Simon came in with his lyric bag that
Mhm.
that song took off and blossomed.
Okay.
And then they knew, oh, okay,
We got some.
this guy is special.
Ooh.
Because you can be a good musician, you can come up with good sounds, but if you don't have the voice and you don't have the words, you don't have anything.
Well, yeah, that's most of the song.
And think about how many songs he's written, and
Mhm.
you just think of the last few.
Bangers.
But there's always something worthy,
Mhm.
almost always.
Except
One
the
time.
album.
So Faster Than Light, that would be the last one. First one they ever wrote. I like Faster Than Light.
That's not the last one we listened to, though. We listened to the night mix.
Of Girls on Film, yeah.
Mhm.
So the reason I put the night mix of Girls on Film and why I think it's better is, and I will tell you, they think it's better because they always play it live with a version of that.
Mhm. I don't like the
That
night
version
mixes.
has extra lyrics,
Okay.
and it has a building near the end, and then sort of a explosion in musical goodness.
No. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, you know,
You
maybe,
didn't win me over. I listened to it. And
well, that's a night mix. I bet if I played you the live version from that era, you'd go, yes, I see why
Probably.
that's better.
I like live versions.
But
of
this
music.
isn't really about live versions, so it's the people can decide if they like the single mix or the 12-inch. I would rather listen to the 12-inch, but I'm happy to listen to the 7-inch as well.
Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever.
So that's it. You can buy this now if you're lucky enough, if you don't get burned by Rhino like I did.
Oh, don't turn this into a Rhino bashing.
Well, I ordered them day one, and they screwed me pretty good.
I ordered mine off of Amazon, and mine came a little bit earlier than his.
Right. And yeah, not only did I have to wait, half of my order was missing.
Thanks, Bezos.
Yeah, thanks. Wait a minute, that's you. I got it from Rhino. It had nothing
Yeah.
to do with Jeff Bezos.
I said thanks, Bezos, for me.
Oh, it sounded sarcastic.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be.
Well,
Sorry.
Maybe you should work on that.
No.
Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this.
We didn't talk about our favorite, least favorite.
Well, I just want them to enjoy it at this point. Now we can talk about our favorite. I just want to make sure they're
okay.
enjoying so far.
Is it?
Give me the
Get
best
out.
song, in your opinion, on all of those songs that we discussed.
You ready? This might become a shocker. Girls on Film.
Yeah. It's hard not to say Girls on Film.
That's a great song. I really like that song. Let me pull up my list.
And I
again.
really don't want to say Girls on Film
No.
just because it's so obvious.
Yeah.
But there's no other way around that.
I love that song.
Planet Earth is fantastic, but Girls on Film is
Number one.
it's number one.
It's the boss.
It has to be.
Yeah.
And I hate to be so obvious, but that's what it is. But which one did you like the least out of all of those? Not you didn't hate it. Maybe you did. But when was the time when you're like, you know what? If the record skipped on that one, I'd be fine.
See, that's the thing is I had an answer and then we discussed it and my thoughts shifted.
That's what this whole thing is for.
Yeah.
This is why people are watching. right now is,
Yeah.
can their brain reevaluate? When people stream and they're in their car and etc. When you sit down in a room, preferably with a nice pair of headphones, and that's all you have to do
Mhm.
is listen. If you have the
Critical
attention
thinking.
span, you really get into it. I've been making cassette tapes,
Mhm.
and cassette tapes, you have to play the song, you have to press record, and at the end you got to stop or change the new one.
Mhm.
And
So
when
you got to be
you're
in it
paying
to win it.
attention, and it's a wonderful experience to listen to them without being distracted by other stuff, because you don't have a choice, you can't be distracted.
Mhm.
But Girls on Film it is. I will tell you which one I like the least, since you're
Yeah.
having trouble.
Well, now I'm
And it's,
reevaluating.
again, with this album, it's so obvious which one is the least liked, because they thought it was, because it got removed.
I didn't want to be a sheeple, you know? I didn't want to be like everybody else. And
I don't know if everybody else would say that, but
well,
To the
because,
Shore, for whatever reason, I appreciate the poetry, but I can see why they removed it.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would agree. That was going to be my pick, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll pick something else, because there were some I was like, but then I'm like, it's To the Shore.
That's the one that elicits the least amount of emotion out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what is your honorable mention? Do you have one? One that's not Girls on Film or Planet Earth. It's obvious, but something that people should give a second listen to, not just one time.
I
Listen
had
to it.
one, but I just dropped my phone. May I grab it real quick?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay.
And I'll explain which one I'm gonna say.
Okay, I hope it's not mine.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, you keep picking on mine.
Well, that's what does that tell you? We're correct. I have to say, even though I'm a big fan of Faster Than Light, and I like that that was their first song, and it's a little upbeat and stuff, it's gotta be Late Bar.
No. Oh, you okay?
I'm
I thought you were
picking.
saying that was your least favorite, and I was about
No,
to
that's
get
my
upset.
honorable mention.
I really like Late
Late
Bar.
Bar, I have probably sung that song at least once a day for the past 40 years.
So Late Bar was gonna be my favorite, but then I'm like, well, obviously I have to go with Girls on Film.
Didn't have to, but
well, really, emotionally I had to, because Girls on Film I'm probably gonna listen to a lot more than Late Bar, in the long run.
probably.
Yeah.
But Late Bar is like I don't want to say curse, but you cannot get that song out of your head.
Yeah, that's like.
Yes, that's another song we're not going to tell you the name of, but impossible not to be.
Every
Brain
single
melted.
time you sing that song, it's stuck in my head for about 3 weeks.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
Because it's fun.
I hate
It is fun to throw something on somebody.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that.
Hey, and listen, it's a great riff.
Are you ready for my choice?
Give me your honorable mention that people should not overlook.
Anyone out there?
Anyone out there? Oh,
Well,
see?
because you said it's a little bit more mainstream. That's why I was like,
It is.
oh.
No, it's an album cut, definitely. But it is, for people who are a fan of this first album, that's a standout.
I like that one. I really do.
And my understanding was that they were talking about making that a single.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you were saying that, I'm like, oh, that was going to be my honorable mention. But I'm like, I consider myself a low Duran fan.
Whoa.
I never, when I say low, I mean not as informed.
Yeah, well, there's levels, right?
Yeah, I'm on a lower level. And that song, I gotta be honest, I don't think I've ever heard before we listened to this album. And I was like, ooh, that's gonna be my standout.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You listen to it really you probably heard it before, but this is probably the first time you were actually going to sit there and critique. Yeah. And it jumps off the record.
I like Late Bar. It's a good honorable mention also, though. Yep. I recommend both of those ones.
Yep. So there you go. Do you think people will listen to our playlist and then engage in the comment section?
No.
Maybe one day?
No.
Because these videos, they do live on forever.
Yeah.
Is anybody even in the room?
No.
How do you know that?
I look at the little people thing and it says 0.
Oh, you can read that. I can't.
I can read it enough to know that's a 0.
All right.
That's about where I'm at.
Well, I'm assuming people will watch it at some other later date, so.
Okay.
there she is.
Wherever you say.
So there you go. That's everything I can tell you about this record that I can remember. Go get yourself a copy of it. Whoa!
Don't. Okay, you're fired.
Well, it's unbalanced is the problem. And that's all I have to say about it.
Well, hopefully the thumbnail generates and I can do the one where I'm holding it up.
By the way, these are very reasonably priced too, by the way.
How much did I pay for mine?
I want to say these are $25.
I think I only paid $25 for mine. I just got a singlet. He got the pack, which you
I
save
saved,
money.
yes.
But I got one, and
I saved, but then they screwed me out of the
$25.
CDs, so I had to go to a scalper. So any savings that I got was quickly tossed right out the window.
Did you tell them?
I told them. I wrote them a review saying, listen, because they asked me, how did your situation
Did they give
resolve?
you a refund on the CD?
They did, but whoop-de-doo. They wouldn't send me anymore. That's what I cared
yeah.
about. I could care less about the money.
Not about the money.
Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye.
You gotta hold that then, because I gotta go turn it off. Bye. Oh, you ready?